Hi everyone, this is Danielle and Megan, this is a video response for you, like you asked. I'm sorry it's only probably 6 hours before you post the next one, but this was last week's was the first Saturday video from you and Paul that I had watched. I think you've done 2 or 3 before. But that was the first one that I watched and I really enjoyed it, and I wanted you to enjoy. I know you enjoy the experience, but I noticed you said that no one posted a response and you wanted one, so I'm posting one. What I thought I might do is go through some of the questions that you were asked and answer them myself, just for something to do, and hopefully you like it. Paul, I'll try not to make it too long, so as not to take your lovely wife away from you. So I've got some things written down on the computer. I'm just reading. How do you motivate yourself to exercise? I really liked Paul's answer about staying young, looking young, being young through exercise. It's so true. My grandfather is 80. He'll be 81 this year, and no one knows it to look at him. He has actually just gone through a shoulder reconstruction, poor thing, and it's driving him nuts because he can't use his arm. He's a very active person with both mind and body. He reads a book in, that most people would take, if you're going flat out, if most people would take a couple of days to read, he'll read it in 2 hours. He's crazy. He's an amazing man. I really look up to him, but he's very fit, looks after himself, and it shows, and we're going to have him for a lot longer than 80, which is kind of where a lot of people start to get old. I kind of have no concept of old because everyone in my family, I lost my great-grandmother when she was 91, and I still didn't think that she was old. She was sharp as a tack. Her body was failing a little, and that's why she ended up passing away, but everyone's always been, they don't seem old. 5 things you don't know about me. You guys don't know anything about me unless you watch my cake videos. Megan may know a little, but she's got so many people to keep track of, I don't expect her to know. Okay, I'm a music teacher during the day. I teach in between 3 secondary schools. I go to different ones each day, and at night I am a cake decorator. So I have my own business, and I do custom cakes, cupcakes, cookies, anything sweet, I guess, for any occasions: birthdays, weddings, naughty cakes. Yeah, so that's what I do in terms of jobs. I'm originally from Sydney. I've been in Melbourne for 6 years, and the reason I came to Sydney was for a boy. At the time we met through music. He's a musician as well, and we performed in China together, and that's where we met. And when we came back, see, he lived in Melbourne and I obviously lived in Sydney. When we came back, we dated long distance for 18 months, and then we decided that one of us would move to where the other was. I decided I would be the one to move. So I moved my whole life down here, and 6 weeks later he broke my heart. But I do believe that in everything for a reason. I'm still here. It was incredibly difficult for the first 9 or 10 months. I was determined to stay for at least 12 months. I wasn't going to go home with my tail between my legs. I was going to give it a shot and thought, I'm here for a reason. I've got to find out that reason. And then month 10, 11 hit, and I was like, no, this is home. I really love it here. And like I say, I've been here just over 6 years now, so that's why I'm here. What's that? That's a couple of things. What else about me? I'm the only one in my family with blonde hair, blue eyes, until 2 years ago when my nephew was born. He also has blonde hair, blue eyes. Goes back to my great-grandfather, my mum's dad. He had blue hair. Blue hair? No. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Okay, next question. Oh, that just reminded me. Paul, he's probably not watching this, but Megan, you can tell him. I cracked up every time Paul was like, next. Next question. Next. It was really funny. Reincarnation. Yes, absolutely. I do believe in. I think I do believe in I do. Yes, I do believe in reincarnation. Definitely believe in recycled, I guess, everlasting energy. It just takes on different forms. It's the same kind of energy to start with, and it just obviously you go into different bodies, different shells. So I'm not dissing what Paul is saying though. Everyone, of course, is entitled to their opinion. The dead in the box theory I don't like, but that's cool. A lot of people do believe that, and that's fine. I guess the positive of that, and I always do look for the positives in everything, the positive in the way that Paul is thinking is, like he said, you get one chance, you've got to do everything that you can in this life. So he's going to be pleasantly surprised when he gets to do it all over again. But I do believe that he will, in the next life, he will also think that dead in a box, it will be his theory. Because I don't think that we remember the lives we've had. I did a past life regression with a lady. I don't know if I'm going to put 100% faith in it, but it was interesting. She didn't know about me being a musician in this life. I don't like to. I do believe in some clairvoyance and things like that, and messages and blah blah blah. But I do know that there are a lot of shonks out there, and I am a skeptic, but I'm also a believer, if that makes sense. So I don't ever if I do ever go to anyone like that, I don't tell them anything about me, and if they ask something, I'll just answer the question directly, not give them a whole heap of information for which they can then take and just make up stuff. Oh gosh, I tend to waffle as well. I'm sorry. Let me get back on track. Reincarnation. My past life. Okay, so I was told that I was a male. I was a loner. I didn't have a lot of family or friends, which is the complete opposite to me now. My family is everything to me, and my close friends are like family. They mean so much to me. And I always like to be around people. I do enjoy my own time, but I like to be around people. So she said I was an absolute loner, but a brilliant musician and composer. But I didn't ever get to share my life with anyone. She didn't say whether I was happy or not, but that's what she said. I think a lot of people talk about reincarnation as animals. I think if I was ever an animal, I would probably have been a big cat of some sort, like a tiger or a puma or something like that, because I hate cats. Sorry to all cat lovers, I really don't like them. They're dirty. I think that they're dirty when they lick themselves. I'm very allergic to them, and that's part of the reason why I don't like them. But I love big cats. Like I love them. And same with birds. I'm not that fussed on birds. Yeah, they're cute, they're okay, but big bird, like eagles and falcons, there's just something about them that I'm, drawn to. So maybe that was something that I was, or something that I could be in another life. I would like to come back as another person. I think, yeah, that'd be cool. Vision board. Someone asked you where your vision board is and how you came to have it. My family have always had vision boards. I tend to have mine in my head, but recently, I operate my business from home, and my cake decorating business, and recently I know of a lot of there are so many cake decorating businesses in Melbourne, very talented people. Most of them are women, but the men are amazing. Don't think that cake decorating is just for chicks. And recently there's about 4 of them that I am, a liker of theirs on Facebook, and they're a liker of my Sweet Cheeks on Facebook. And they're all saying, I picked up the keys, I signed my lease, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're all getting their own shops. And that's something that I'm I'm openly envious about, but I'm so happy for them as well. So I thought, right, I need to get a vision board that I actually see in front of me. I do see the vision board in my head. It's just, yeah, I think I need to start putting one on paper. And I like doing all that creative kind of stuff. I'm a very typical Cancerian, as long as you can tell with music and cakes, you know, being creative. As long as I'm being creative, I'm happy. Next question. Next. How did taco nights start? Well, I don't do taco nights, but I thought what I might do with this one is a little tradition that I started. It really only started last year, so I don't know if I can call it a tradition yet until it happens again this year. But at Easter last year, I started a Melbourne family orphan Easter. I'm going to drop the orphan, that sounds terrible. Melbourne family Easter. So my friends and I get together at Easter, over the Easter weekend, and we do a family Easter dinner, or this year I might do lunch, I'm not really sure. And we have an Easter egg hunt and all that. Some of my friends are like me, they are from interstate, so their families are still interstate, but we don't necessarily celebrate Easter. Not that we don't celebrate it, but it's not a big family gathering like Christmas or birthdays are. I don't know why, it just happens to be that way. So we do that, I do that with my friends. And last year, funny story from last year, my friend Nathan, we were all a little bit silly, we were all excited, and we had a few champagnes and just a few, not too many. And I was saying to Nathan, smash an egg on your head, like one of the chocolate eggs, smash an egg on your head, because he's funny like that, he does silly stuff. And anyway, about half an hour later, I didn't realise what he was doing, but he sent one of my other friends, Madeleine, to the fridge, and she was being all sneaky and like looking around, and you know, she got something out of my fridge. I was like, what are you doing? Anyway, about 10 minutes later, we realised what she had done, because I had piped up again, Nathan, smash a chocolate egg on your head. And he had an egg in his hand, and he went, this? And I said, yeah. And he went smack, and a real egg. He had wrapped a real egg into the foil of a chocolate egg, and it went everywhere, over my new dining set, on my rug, it went everywhere. So, but it was so funny, I didn't care. It was, yeah, so that's a funny story about last year's. I'll have to keep you updated on this year's, which is only in a couple of weeks. One of the scariest things that ever happened to you as a kid was being chased by a Rottweiler, definitely. I can't remember exactly what happened. I think I was on a walk and I was almost home, because I remember my memory of it is from a certain point, which is just across the road from my house. And I was running, and I cleared the gate, the side gate, which was tall. I was only little. And I cleared the gate, which was taller than me. Must have been pure adrenaline, because I have no idea how I physically could have done that. But I jumped over the gate, and I remember not the next door neighbour, the guy from across the road, he saw it and grabbed the hose, our hose, and hosed the dog off, and sort of, you know, I don't know what it did, I don't remember that part. So my heart was just pumping, and my poor dog was, you know, barking at the dog, but he couldn't get anywhere because he was behind the gate as well. So that was pretty scary. The scariest thing that has ever happened to me was I have this condition, I guess, called neurally mediated hypertension, and it's to do with low blood pressure. I have low blood pressure. A lot of people do. It's not always, you know, life-threatening or anything, but there's a chemical in your brain that when your low blood pressure gets lower than low, there's a chemical in your brain that's sort of triggered and says, heart, pump faster, so you know, so Dani doesn't run out of oxygen to her brain. And that chemical in my brain doesn't work, apparently. So instead, my brain says, okay, body, let's shut down. So I go blind temporarily, thank goodness. The first time this happened, of course, I didn't realize what was going on. So I was blind for about half an hour. That's the longest from an attack that I have been blind. And I want to be careful about saying this. I don't diss anyone believing in God, but I don't personally believe in God, you know, portrayed in the Bible and everything. I believe more in the universe. More on that later. I was praying to God. I was talking to God, who I don't even believe in, asking for my sight back, and you know, if I just want to see my mum and blah blah blah, and I'll never see, you know, when I have kids, and I was so petrified that first one. And then I had a few more. They weren't as severe, but they're still very, very scary. And then the last one that I had before I was diagnosed was really, really bad. I cut my head open. I still have a scar, which you can't really see when I'm back like this, which is kind of good. And you might notice, I don't know if you've noticed it till now, but I'll point it out, whatever. My lip is a little bit funny down, this side is a little bit higher because I split my lip completely in two. I must have bitten through it as I hit the ground. Cut my forehead completely open, and scraped all down here. So I mean, I was unconscious, so we don't know exactly what happened, but it looks like from the wounds and everything, when everything like stopped, wasn't swollen anymore, it looked like I hit my head on the wall, fell onto the cornice bit, like the little where the wood kind of joins like that. That's why I had like this on my forehead, and then as I hit, I must have bitten right through my lip. So that was pretty damn scary. I laugh about it now, but there is no cure, there's no prevention. It's just going to happen when it happens, but I haven't had an attack for about 4 months now. I never know when it's going to hit. I have to do things to, like, put salt on my food, which is hard for me to remember because I've never really put salt. I've never put salt on my food. But they did. I was worried. I was like, well, will I get high blood pressure from that? And they said, no, there's no chance of you getting high blood pressure because my blood pressure is so low. So that's good. Not drink a lot, which I don't. I really enjoy champagne. I love my bubbles, but I only ever drink 1 or 2 glasses, partly for, you know, health reasons and weight, you know, management, but partly because, you know, I don't want to get wasted. There's no point in that, I don't think, anyway. So I only ever drink 2 glasses, and I've been told that that's fine. So that's the scariest thing that's ever happened to me and continues to happen to me. But it's not as bad anymore now that I'm diagnosed. And same with anyone. I mean, there are so many things out there that I could have gotten that would be way worse. So I'm not poor me at all. I'm grateful that this is all that's happened to me. It's not life-threatening. But anyone that, you know, has had anything happen to them, you know, knowledge is power, I say. That's what my mum said when I really struggled when I was first diagnosed with it. And the professor in charge of my case, he said, I can tell, he said a lot of people, if they're diagnosed with something, because this is fairly rare, what I have, but he said a lot of people, when they're diagnosed with something, they feel better because they know what it is. And he could see on my face that I was just petrified because I don't know when this is going to happen and stuff like that. But anyway, see, I waffle so much. I just love to talk, which is funny because I'm quite a shy person. If you meet me that's another thing you don't know about me. There you go. Going back to the other question, I am quite a shy person. If I meet someone for the first time, quite often I rely on them to carry the conversation until I feel comfortable. I'm not a snob or anything though. Okay, next question, Danny. Coke Zero. I had no idea. I mean, I don't drink Coke Zero because I heard of how acidic it is and it just rots your guts, basically. It dissolved a baby's tooth. That's pretty crazy. But good on those girls that have given it up. and lost 1.5 kilos. That's great, just after, you know, giving up. But I wondered, Megan, is Diet Coke the same? I have sometimes I have 1 glass of Diet Coke. Sometimes I don't have anything. I just drink, look, this, I can't see the screen. Yeah. This is my 1 litre, where's it gone? 1 litre bottle of water, and I drink at least 2 of these a day. I try not to drink too much because apparently that's just as bad for you. If you drink like 4 litres a day, you can drown some cells or something. I don't know. That's just what I've read. But I drink a lot of water. But sometimes, yeah, I do drink a little bit of Diet Coke sometimes, or Pepsi Max. Oh, you can see in the background, you can see an empty bottle there. How funny. Yeah, so I'm just wondering if Pepsi Max and Diet Coke, if you know if that's the same kind of thing as Coke Zero. That I'd be interested to hear if anyone knows that. Good place in New York to stay. No idea, wrong person to ask. But I would love to go to New York. I've been to America twice, but I've never been outside of California. And I would love to go to, I'm turning 30 this year in July, on July 4th. So what better place to be than in America on my 30th birthday on the 4th of July? I think that would be amazing. But I kept saving and saving, and I've got nowhere near enough money to get there, or stay there really. So I thought, okay, I'm actually using the money that I saved to buy a new bed and bedside tables. I'll have to show you when it's done. You know, Megan, how you said you're not into interior design at all. I have recently discovered, after buying my own home 14 or 15 months ago, I've really recently discovered that I adore it. I love it. Where I used to go out and be tempted by clothes shops, now I have to stay away from like the homewares shops. But I do shop a lot in Target. I shouldn't be embarrassed about that. They have some really cute stuff in Target. There's a place in Chadstone, for those of you that are in Melbourne. It's called Just Gorgeous, and they have a lot of mirrored furniture. And I have been obsessed with mirrored furniture for about the last 12 months. I saw it on a YouTube video, Makeup by Tiffany D, I think her name is. She does makeup tutorials. And she has mirrored furniture, and I'm like, oh, I love it. And it's recently come to Australia, so I have ordered 2 bedside tables. Anyway, I'll have to show you. It's going to be an amazing bedroom. So I used my money that I saved to do up my bedroom, kind of like a 30th birthday present to myself. And then I'll start saving, and I will eventually get back to America, but I'll do it properly. I won't go for just 10 days. I might go for a month and go all around to the places that I'd love to go over to New York. That'd be awesome. See all the you know, the shows and everything. Ever done fundraising? Yes, all the time. Owning Sweet Cheeks Cookies and Cakes, I get called up all the time asking if I'll help out with fundraisers. Mainly it's donating cupcakes or cookies or a voucher, things like that. And if it's a cause that, you know, I'd love to be able to help everyone, of course, but I just don't have the time with a full-time job and running a business. It gets kind of hectic in my life. And also, of course, keeping me time and social time, otherwise I would go nuts. So I do pick and choose. I have one charity that I will drop everything and support. That is ovarian cancer. I lost my nan from ovarian cancer just over 6 years ago, and which hit me so hard. My nan, I say my nan and I are soulmates. I don't believe that your soulmate has to be the person that your partner. I don't believe that. And I believe that you do have several soulmates. That's just my belief. You guys don't have to agree with it. But my nan was definitely a soulmate. She is part of me. We're so alike. And it hit me really, really hard when she passed away. The main thing is, the main thing that I was annoyed at is that because we don't have an early detection test for ovarian cancer yet. We do for breast cancer, of course. And, you know, I think it's 75% of women that are diagnosed with ovarian cancer don't make it. It's too late by the time they're diagnosed. That's not all the case. That's not the case all the time. So please don't think, if anyone is watching this apart from Megan, listen to me thinking that everyone's going to be watching it. If you are watching it and you know someone who's just been diagnosed, please don't think that I'm saying, oh, they're going to die. Absolutely not. But we do need more research, and we need an early detection test. So any opportunity I get to raise money or help raise money for that, for Ovarian Cancer Research Fund, I absolutely take up. And if you guys want to help, you can go to Witchery and buy the little silver pins, which I have about 6 of. And you can go to any NAB and donate there, or go to the Ovarian Cancer Research Fund website. They do have a yearly fundraiser called the Afternoon Teal, because teal is the international colour for ovarian cancer awareness. Silver is what we have in Australia, but teal is the international one. And it's kind of like Girls Night In. Everyone knows about Girls Night In for breast cancer. Yeah, Afternoon Teal is the same kind of thing for ovarian cancer. And the awareness month is February, so we've had it this year, but doesn't mean that you can't donate throughout the year or do anything. Other charities that I've done are a lot to do with kids, homeless kids or kids with illnesses, and I'm the same as you guys. I like to choose my my charities, but if someone comes to me and they have something that I think I would like to support, then absolutely I will go ahead and do it. Next question. Football. Someone asked about football being a big part of your guys' life, and I love seeing all your posts about Geelong, Megan. It's great, and especially when you guys win. Not that I don't go for Geelong, but it's not one of the teams that I don't like. Essendon. I'm a Hawks supporter, so when I first came down from Sydney, I was teaching in a private Catholic school in Brunswick, and the kids were all, you know, there's this new teacher, and they're like, Miss, who do you go for? And I was like, go for? What do you mean? Aston Villa? You know, I grew up playing soccer and going for following English football. And they were like, no, AFL, because, I mean, I didn't even follow NRL. I don't like, my mum calls it Thugby League, and I kind of do as well. It's okay, like, if I had to go for a team, I would go for Storm. My brother goes for Tigers, my sister goes for Roosters, and my mum's like me, she doesn't care. But yeah, so they said you have to go for a team, you have to choose an AFL team, so I chose Sydney, and that was when we won the premiership, so yay. Then over the next year or two, just a lot of my friends, and where I was living in Kew, it's kind of, you know, very close to Hawthorn, and so I would see the players around, well, not all of them because they don't all live there, but you know, I'd see some of them around, and my friends all went for Hawthorn. My boyfriend at the time went for Hawthorn, and I won't say that last bit. I kind of dated someone who's linked with it for a little bit. And then, yeah, so I sort of had a soft spot for Hawthorn, but anytime Sydney would play them, I would absolutely go for Sydney, and then it kind of swapped around. But I know it's not cool to swap teams, and I never will again. I'm definitely a Hawks girl from now on, so... I think we're playing Melbourne this weekend, so we'll see how we go. One of my good girlfriends, she just got engaged, and her fiance goes for Melbourne, and she's a Hawks supporter, so that should be interesting on Sunday. See how we go. Of course we'll win. The current age Danny, what would she say to the 15-year-old Danny? I wouldn't change anything because it was all meant to happen. I would probably, I don't even know if I'd warn myself about certain heartaches Like my dad absolutely broke my heart when I was 18, again when I was about 22. All to do with like my parents splitting up, which was pretty painful. But my dad actually, I was always daddy's girl, and that's kind of changed. I love my dad, but his wife's gotten, she's a very cunning lady, you will say that. Yeah, so I don't know if I'd even warn myself about that. Maybe I would just say, look, don't take it too hard, but then, yeah, I don't know, because then you'd kind of worry about it for 4 years. So, I don't know, I'd be interested for other people to answer that question as well, and just see what you would do. My motto in life, I have a lot of them actually, but mainly just be happy and be positive. I think if you're positive, the happiness will come. I make sure I always surround myself with positive and happy people and experiences. If there's something negative, I really don't want to keep it in my life. So yeah, just be happy and be positive, and if something bad does happen, you have to look for the positive in it. I'm not saying you have to be happy all the time. Absolutely, like there are times where I cry when I'm sad, and I think you're allowed to do that, but I give myself a certain amount of time, depending on what it is that I'm crying about. It's like, you know, if it's a breakup, all right, you have one day, you can cry, and then you get over it. Yeah. Someone asked if it's hard for you having so many friends on Facebook. I tend to, I have more friends on Facebook than what I am actual active friends with, but I don't have anywhere near as many as you, Megan. But I do have a lot of people on my Facebook too that are a fan of my cake work, and they added me on Facebook, and sometimes I'm a little bit funny about it because they see, like, I share everything on, not everything, but I share a lot on Facebook. So some people may say too much, but you know, I'm a very open and honest person, and if you don't like it on my Facebook, then just delete me or block my, you know how you can block people, certain status updates from certain people, so whatever. But yeah, there are some people on there that are fans of my work, but they want to add me personally, so I should really get another Facebook page just for that. But by the same token, I do that as well. Like, I'm friends with Paris Cutler, who is the owner of Planet Cake in Sydney, because I look up to her as a businesswoman, and I met her. She offered to help me out if I ever need it, which I really, really appreciated, and gave me an absolute buzz. So, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I've lost my train of thought, but yeah, Megan, it must be difficult, but it must be a hell of a lot of fun to have all those people on your Facebook. Would you ever write a book? Yep, absolutely. So many people of the two questions that I'm always asked is, when are you trying out for MasterChef? I'm not going to, because although I do love cooking as well, my passion is with baking and cake art, like sugar art. I'd be terrible with the taste testing part. You know, sometimes you'd have to tell me you're eating pork for me to know what it is. Like, yeah, it tastes good. So no, I'm not trying out for MasterChef. What am I talking about? Two questions. Oh, I'm gonna have to look back. I write a book. Oh yeah, and when are you putting out a cookbook, like a baking book? And I would love to do a probably not recipes, because my recipes I have put together myself and I don't share them, and that's not to be mean, that's my hard work, and that's my signature for my that's why people come back to me, because they say my cakes they taste as amazing as they look, which is quite not rare, but it's kind of rare. A lot of cakes that you get will be stale on the inside, or not stale, but you know, they're okay. But I pride myself on the fact that people say, oh my gosh, that tastes amazing, as well as looking amazing. So probably not recipe, but maybe not a business book either, like maybe cake decorating in some capacity. Yeah. Next question. How do you set a goal and how do you achieve them? Do you have any currently? Yes, I do. My current goal is to get into maybe not a shop, but a shop. I'm kind of tossing up at the moment. The reason I said maybe not is because I'm tossing up whether to redo my kitchen at home and keep doing it from here or lease a shop. Now, I'm at least 2 years from, if not more, from doing that anyway. So my mind may change before then. But at this stage, yeah, I'd really like to have a shop. That's a goal that I'm sort of working towards, and slowly getting there. Business is going well. Another goal, not business related, kind of sounds weird to have it as a goal, but it's something that I would like. I would like to, find someone, get married, have kids. I'm nearly 30. That's another goal. What else? I want to keep buying more houses. Again, that's a few years away yet because this is my first one and I absolutely love it. I'll always keep this as an investment because I'm on the water in southeast Melbourne, down a little way, it's about half an hour, 40 minutes from Melbourne City, and I would like to buy more places in the future and just keep building a portfolio, or whatever they call it. Yeah, that's a few of my goals anyway. Another thing that I read recently is it's a good idea when you set a goal to work backwards in terms of what you do next, because especially if you set a really big goal like buying a house, that's a pretty big goal. It can sort of seem like you've got so many steps on the way to get it, but if you put, okay, I've got to save blah blah blah, and to do that I've got to get a second job or whatever, and you see that at the top of the list, that apparently makes it easier, and I think it does. Maybe I'm not explaining it too well. I should try and remember where I read it. But yeah, I think that's setting your goals and achieving them is different for everyone, I think. Depends. Memorable experience of being in the zone. I'm not sure exactly what the person meant by the zone, because I think that can mean different things to different people. And I think from memory, because I actually watched your video a couple of days ago, but I think from memory, you and Paul kind of would have answered the question. It meant different things to you, I noticed, because Paul said, well, I think it was this question. Paul said, well, that wasn't really the question. I think he read it a different way to what you read it, and maybe a different way to what I am reading it. But I think in the zone, for me, can be different things to the same person and different things to different people. I'm definitely in the zone when I'm doing like a cake, especially intricate piping work, or working on a figurine, a sugar figurine. I know when I play my music, which I haven't for a while because of this, when I cut my lip in half because I'm a wind player, kind of cuts playing out for a while, which devastated me, of course. But especially when I was at uni, I went to a private college in Sydney, which is just for music, the Australian Institute of Music. Brilliant place to study. Well, it was when I was there. Apparently it's changed hands. And we were expected, you were expected to be top notch and practice 4 to 6 hours a day on top of all your study and everything. And I've lost my train of thought again. Got to look back at the question. Being in the zone. Okay, I'm back. So recitals, we were expected to do a lot of recitals and things, and I would absolutely just sort of, everything else would just fade away. I didn't even, it was like I wasn't even seeing the music. I was just playing, and I was totally, that's what I called it at the time, was in the zone. Nothing else even existed. It was just myself and Sumiko, my accompanist. I'll try not to make this too much longer. Oh my gosh, I've been going for 40 minutes. That's almost as long as yours. Okay. Children being bullied. I don't have children. I wasn't bullied exactly. No, I wasn't bullied. But, okay, I'll talk about the recent bullying thing that's all over the news, that has been all over the news in Australia at least. That Casey kid who smashed the bully on the floor. Everyone's kind of cheering him on, and I think, I mean, I do understand that if the case is that this kid's been bullying him for years, of course, like, you're bound to have an outburst, but I'm not going to condone what he did either. You know, I don't think two wrongs make a right. I think the way that Megan handled when Max was being kicked or punched or whatever by that little boy, I think that was perfect. You know, no one gets hurt. And the bullying stopped from what I remember you saying. Does Zoe make jewellery? I thought I would talk about, because my sister makes cakes. I taught her about 6 months after about 6 months after I started the business in Melbourne. She is in Sydney, and she's now my Sydney Sweet Cheeks baker, cake artist. So we share that, and it's funny because when we were younger, we always said that we would work together in some capacity. We thought that, because she's a musician and singer as well, she's an amazing singer. She's singing at a wedding today, actually, and we always thought it would be a music shop. And when we're about, because she's 2 years younger than me, when we were about 15 and 13, we were like, oh, we could have a music shop, and we could have all things music. So we could do clothes with music on them, we could do gifts with music, we could sell musical instruments and sheet music and have private lessons there. And so it totally wasn't music, but I'm glad that it kind of came about. There are so many more questions here. I'm not going to go all of them. Oh, okay, cool. So Max was going to be, Max and Zoe was going to be Ruby and Ned. I really like the name Ruby, by the way. That's my birthstone. So that's a really cute name. Not saying that Ned's not nice. I just really like Ruby. I was going to sort of tell you my kids' name, not my kids' names, but the kids' names that I like. I don't know if I want to say that. I'll tell you a couple. So I like, for boys' names, I find it much easier. I really like Mason and Bailey and William. I know that's weird because Mason and Bailey are so different. They're so American, really, actually, when you think about it. And William is so, I guess, a bit old-fashioned, but it just happens to be a coincidence. My brother's middle name is William, and my pop's name is William, and his dad's name was William, so it's kind of a family thing as well. And girls' names I find really hard. I do like Eva and Ava. I think they're really pretty. What did I study at uni? I studied a Bachelor of Music with Honours at the Australian Institute of Music, like I already touched on. And what else? Interior design, I already talked about that. My bed, I can't wait to get my bed. It's really different. It's an upholstered bed. It's kind of like a crushed velour fabric, and it's a really different colour. I'm going to wait and show you, but I think you're going to like it. I'll try not to make, if I make another video response, I will try not to make it so long because we're up to almost 44 minutes. So I'm sorry, Paul, and I'm sorry, Megan, if you got bored and you haven't watched it all the way to the end, and same with anyone else who's watching. Hi to my cake friends who watch all my cake videos. This is the longest one that I've ever done, I know. And thanks for watching. Okay, bye.